Mayor John Tory tweeted his support. Certain radio pundits also noticed Toronto FC's midweek win, which pushed the Reds atop the standings. Finally, Toronto FC is forcing this saturated sports market to take notice. As I wrote 3 weeks ago, it's hard to ignore sold-out BMO. And that was when things were just beginning to turn in TFC's favor. It'd be downright dishonest to ignore 30,000 spectators taking in a winning product. But that's what the Reds are amid an unbelievable run of form. The Reds returned to BMO Field on Saturday night following a 3-game road trip, looking to continue their superiority while ruthlessly punishing the struggling Montreal Impact. There's quite a bit at stake. First place in the East, the Supporters' Shield, and denying Montreal a chance to move within striking distance. Most of all, though, the Reds have earned themselves a massive opportunity to make an impression. Casual fan interest hasn't been this high since TFC first came to be. The Reds are good in 2016. They have good players. They're hosting their bitter rivals in a match that will undoubtedly have playoff implications. At this point, though, the Reds aren't desperate for points. Coach Greg Danny told the Toronto Sun this week he wants TFC focused on something else, seizing the big moments. After all, occasions like this aren't too prevalent in Major League Soccer. Toronto's last big chance came and went last October when the Reds unraveled in a playoff loss to the same Montreal side that arrived here Friday night. Perhaps this is Toronto FC's first real chance at significant payback. The Canadian Championship was a minor blip compared to the amount of attention Saturday's matches is getting. For Montreal, another loss would be quite troubling. They could find themselves on the cusp of falling out of the Eastern Conference playoff picture while potentially dropping multiple games back of a home playoff spot. The Reds want nothing more than to inflict panic in La Belle Province. Again, though, the stakes will be high Saturday night for reasons other than what a win or loss or draw will mean in the standings. The Reds need to seize the attention they've been seeking since this club took a nosedive 5 years ago. A few weeks back, Janison Osorio told me TFC needed to do bigger things to capture the spotlight. One of his teammates, he'll remain anonymous, added he didn't know if it was possible to attract the kind of attention TFC deserved. It's possible said player didn't actually believe TFC would return to BMO Field to potentially extend its 7-game unbeaten streak. Few of us did. Even the most optimistic TFC supporters didn't expect this weekend scenario. Still, that feeling of impending doom lingers. It has been drilled into Toronto FC fans' minds so systematically that they always assume the worst possible outcome looms. You can hardly blame them after how last season ended. What Saturday represents is a chance to move on from that playoff disaster. This match will undoubtedly have a playoff feel to it, the Reds chasing for the Supporters' Shield, the Impact fighting to stay squarely in the playoff picture. This is a chance for the Reds to capture an unprecedented amount of buzz in a city that has largely ignored them due to recent runs by the Blue Jays and Raptors. Remembering back, Toronto's biggest moment last season, finally qualifying for the playoffs on the third to last day of the season, was interrupted by Jose Bautista's bat flip. On Saturday night, though, TFC will be front and center. No Olympics, no Jays. Only the Canadian national exhibition will be on in the surrounding area, meaning tens of thousands more will be in the vicinity to hear raucous BMO Field. We haven't yet seen how big local soccer can be in this city. Perhaps this is what ex-NLFC CEO Tim Lawett meant when he came and went with two words: dream big. The Reds might be on the brink of something special.